Okay, hey y'all. So I'm in the car, it's 5 a.m. I honestly just had this on my mind. I've been wanting to make a video about how I started traveling abroad, or how I live abroad and travel full time, because it's just something that I know a lot of people want to do, and it's something when I really wanted to do, I wish there was more videos about. That's literally how I did it, was watch a bunch of videos about it. So I really been wanting to share my own story and tell y'all just how I started traveling abroad full time and how I live abroad. And I've been living abroad for the past 4 years now. So I live in Mexico. I've been living in Mexico for the past 3 years on and off, really. But I've been traveling in and out of the United States and other countries, Brazil, Costa Rica, just literally all over. But mainly living outside of Mexico for the past 4 years. 4 or 5, honestly, because it first started pre-COVID and then, everything else. But yeah, so this is something that I've wanted to do, and I knew I wanted to do well before I did it. And it was just like, I know I want to live outside of the US, for whatever reason that might be for you, whether it's just, the lifestyle isn't what you like, you want to explore and see something different, or you just want the opportunity to have a different kind of lifestyle. Like, whatever your reason being, I'm just here to let you know that it's absolutely possible, and you don't have to like save up tons of money. You don't have to have every single duck in a row. There's literally so many ways you can make it happen. So my story is very like, I don't know. I didn't have anything in a row. I didn't have any money saved up. I literally just made it happen. And I'm not saying that to like glorify that and say everybody needs to sell their things and make it all happen just off the whim of nothing. But I'm just saying that if I was able to do it, I know it's possible for you. So I left the US in 2021. The very beginning of 2021, maybe around April, something like that. I got an opportunity through Workaway, which is a work trade website. And I got the opportunity to go do some things like my hobbies. I was cooking and dancing and something with a family. And in that period of time of doing Workaway, doing this volunteer opportunity, a work trade, I got the feel for the city I'm living in Mexico now. And I got the opportunity to kind of like feel it out and see what that was going to be. And of course, originally when I got there, I was not thinking I was going to live there. I wasn't thinking I was going to stay there. I was just like, let me just take this opportunity and see where it goes, right? And so I did, and I end up loving it. I live walking distance from the beach. There's fresh food just on every corner. There's just a way more relaxed way of life, not bombarded with all of like the typical American media and politics. There's just so much lightness. Like, I felt a lot lighter in myself and my being, just being there, and I really, really like it. And so I ended up just staying. Like, I found a place on Facebook Marketplace. Mexico doesn't really have too many requirements. As an American citizen or a Canadian, you're able to stay in Mexico for 6 months on a tourist visa and just kind of leave the country after that 180 days and come right back in. So I found it really, really easy to kind of immigrate into Mexico as an American citizen, because the visa requirements are just so flexible. And Mexico itself is just really, really flexible to kind of travel back and forth. My family's on the East Coast. And so for me, it made it like way more easy to just make that transition, right? So yeah, that's kind of my story. Since living in Mexico, after I found my place on Facebook Marketplace, I just created a lifestyle. I started building community. I leveraged the things that I had. I want to say that is the first thing that I did that I think is the most important thing to do if you want to not only travel abroad, but live abroad. I think both of these things, like, either if you want to just travel abroad or if you want to live abroad, this is really, really important to know, is just to like take inventory of who you are and what you have, because the opportunities that are out there are insane. Like, we live in a time where so many things are available to us due to just the internet and people needing each other. And so when I say like take inventory of what you have, I'm not just talking about like material possessions. Like, yes, material possessions, but also like skills, your interests, your hobbies, just literally things you've never even done before, but just that you're curious about. I have gotten so many opportunities opened up for me simply by being aware of who I am and what it is that I like paying attention to those things and taking inventory of just the stuff that you like, what you like to do. Like, honestly, I feel like those things have come in handy for me more than anything else. Like, I didn't need any type of certifications, qualification, like nothing. I've literally gotten volunteer opportunities from just being interested in gardening, and I got an opportunity to garden. Being interested in dance, and I got an opportunity to dance in Mexico. Or I got an opportunity to garden in Portugal. Like, things like that have happened from me just having an interest. So it can be as small as an interest or as big as a real skill. So if you have skills in something, if you have a career in something, you also can leverage that. Like, if you have a skill of like, hey, I am actually an engineer and I know how to do this and that, whatever, fine. There's so many opportunities, but I think that just knowing what you have and what you want to continue doing while you're traveling is a really, really, really important step that I did to make this big lifestyle change, was just become more and more aware of, what skills do I have? What do I have to offer? How can you offer it? Because honestly, I didn't have a huge savings account ready to, support my dream life of traveling abroad. That was not the case for me, but I did know that I had tons of skills. And so I was like, hey, like, I know how to dance. I know how to do yoga. I'm a massage therapist, like random things. Like, you guys, like, I know how to do this, that, and the third. Or I know how to do admin tasks. I know how to work on Canva. I know how to edit a photo or a video. Like, so many opportunities have opened up just for me putting that on different applications. So I used Workaway. That's a really big website where they have volunteer opportunities and work trade opportunities. But they also have things like trusted house sitter. If you literally don't have any skills, you don't have to have any skills to be a house sitter. Like, there are people that are doing stuff like that. And so I'm just mentioning all of these like volunteers and work trades and stuff like that, because that's things that have helped me travel abroad and just get a taste of what it's like out there, and then decide from there where I want to live and what I want to do. I understand that not everybody wants to volunteer, wants to work trade, all that stuff, but I personally love this way, because that way when you get out there, you're automatically in community, which takes me to my next thing of what's so important, is building community. I really love doing volunteering opportunities, work trades, jobs abroad, because that's an instant way to get connected to a community. And building community is how you actually can sustain your life outside of your home country, if you are planning on moving abroad. But also, if you just want to travel and explore, I think building community is also just as important, because you never know where it's going to take you, and it also makes you feel safer. For me, I'm like a solo woman, and so I felt a lot safer knowing that I had community out there once I got out there. And usually if you sign up for a volunteer opportunity, there's going to be other people there. Whether you're working with a host family or you're working with a community project, whatever it is, there's going to be other people there, and other people that are like you, which I think is the most important thing when leaving your home country, is finding other people that are like you, because it's going to make you feel safer, and it's going to make your experience a lot more like just full. And also, you get to learn so much from other people. Like, I've learned so much from other people, and I've gotten to travel so much more places due to just meeting people along the way. So building community is super important, and it's a lot more organic than I'm making it sound. Like, building community doesn't have to be going out and going to all these networking events or all these, you don't have to really network in the way that I think we think of networking in the US. You really, really, really can just be yourself. Like, be yourself, talk about the things you're interested in, talk about the things you do, the things you like to do. And the more you do that, the more you're going to connect with people that are interested in the same things. And it makes it so much easier once you get out there. Like, that's the biggest thing that I think I learned once I did make that transition, was that it was literally a million times easier than I thought. Because once I got out there, I met people that were like me, and I was no longer in the US, surrounded by people that were like, oh, that's so crazy. Oh my gosh, get back to reality. How are you going to do that? I could never, la, 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 la. Those conversations weren't happening anymore. And it was all like, oh yeah, I've been to Colombia. Let me tell you all about it. Oh yeah, and guess what? My friend has a remote job. Let me put you on. Oh, and this, like, the opportunities that come when you just start being around other people that are doing what you want to do, just blah, like, it just takes you there. And I feel like that only can happen once you get out there and start building community. So that's a big thing that I did to get started. And so volunteering and just leveraging my skills, and then secondly, building community. And honestly, those two things are the foundation for how to just get out there and keep going. Like, y'all, I don't know what I'm doing. It's not perfect. It's not great. Like, let me rephrase that. It is definitely great. It is absolutely amazing, actually. But I didn't have it all figured out, is basically what I'm saying. I wasn't perfect. I didn't get it all together before I went. I just went. And honestly, I think it's really been helpful for me to just kind of push myself out there, because once I got out there, things started to get easier, rather than when I was back here trying to figure out how to get over there. And I was surrounded by people who weren't doing that, or didn't want to do that, or wasn't thinking about that. But once I got over there and started connecting with other expats and other travelers, even people that weren't moving abroad but just were traveling, it opens up the doors for so many other things. So yeah, that's my story. That's how I did it. I honestly want to say too, like, social media has really been a help. Like, I don't have tons of followers on social media, but when I find somebody on Instagram that's going a place that I want to go, and they look cool and interesting, they look like they might have similar interests, I just be DMing people. Like, I'd be like, hey girl, that looks cool. I love that. I want to go to Medellin. Like, whatever. I don't care. I will literally reach out to random people online just to feel more comfortable, to know that somebody else is out there doing it. That's real. It doesn't mean that I have to go out there and start asking them a bunch of questions. I would not recommend, like, do your own research. Like, don't go into people's DMs and start asking a bunch of questions. But it just makes me feel safer to try and make those connections. Also, Facebook groups are really, really great. Like, Facebook groups have been a really good help. WhatsApp groups, once you get out there, you'll start to find the WhatsApp groups, and you'll be surprised how much community is out of the US as a traveler, as a foreigner. Like, I think that a lot of people, like, don't understand how much support there is once you get out. And I just want to emphasize that. Like, there's so much more support when you get out. But before you do that, I would say that, like, the thing that has helped me the most to get out there and travel abroad was just taking real inventory of who I am and what I have. Okay, well, I guess that means my video is over because the lights just went off. But thank you guys for listening. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions, comments, concerns. I probably will make another video of this, but this is just my story for where I am right now. Love y'all. Bye.